And back to our special coverage of the Republican National Convention, the world getting a closer look at the Trump family tonight. After being mostly silent throughout this campaign, Melania Trump, the wife of Donald Trump, took to the convention floor tonight. Joining us now is Adam Wollner, senior political analyst from the National Journal. And Adam, thanks for joining us today. What did you think about Melania's speech tonight?
Well, I think it was certainly one of the bright spots of the event tonight, but unfortunately for the Trump campaign, it's been kind of overshadowed by some of the controversy that's followed the event. It looks like that certain paragraphs from her speech were plagiarized from a speech that Michelle Obama gave during the 2008 Democratic convention. So, I think this was a speech that really did stick out tonight, because a lot of the Republicans who were speaking tonight were talking about law and order and kind of talking about making America safe again. That was the theme of the night. But then Donald Trump's wife came up there and gave kind of a more uplifting message. But that's only going to be overshadowed now going into the second day of the convention by this, by these questions that are being raised about how authentic some of these lines were.
And so tomorrow, what do you anticipate? You think that she'll be questioned about where she got the source for that speech?
Right. Well, I would be very surprised if she was the one who actually wrote the speech herself. So I guess we'll have to find out who actually was the speechwriter for this and find out exactly where all this came from. But right now, the evidence, looks like, if you compare the speech that Michelle Obama gave in 2008 to the one that that Melania Trump gave tonight, a lot of the lines were strikingly similar. And I think this is going to be a controversy that's going to last into tomorrow.
We're going to hear her speech in its entirety later on throughout the evening. But I wonder if we can go right now, producers, to just a little bit of what she had to say. Let's listen to a snippet of Melania Trump talking about where they're not ready for that yet, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But Adam, tell me about the overall picture of day one. Melania Trump being introduced by her husband coming out kind of in a very dramatic way, almost a shadow effect of WWF. And I'm told now that we have that shot. So let's go to it right now to hear what Melania has to say, and I'll come back and ask my question.
Donald wants prosperity for all Americans. We need new programs to help the poor and opportunities to challenge the young. There has to be a plan for growth. Only then will fairness result. My husband's experience exemplifies growth and successful passage of opportunity to the next generation. His success indicates inclusion rather than division. My husband offers a new direction, welcoming change, prosperity, and greater cooperation among peoples and nations. Donald intends to represent all the people, not just some of the people. That includes Christians and Jews and Muslims. It includes Hispanics and African Americans and Asians and the poor and the middle class.
So tell me about that, Adam. She took it to another level tonight by expanding the vision of Donald Trump, who had been known prior to this as someone who wanted to exclude, in the opinion of others. But tonight she made it very clear that her husband wants to include all people and make America prosperous for all. What do you say about that?
That's right. And you look at some of the polls that came out this weekend just before the convention in the NBC Wall Street Journal poll, for instance, 60% of all voters had an unfavorable view of Donald Trump. So this is about as divisive of a figure as you're going to get in American politics. And clearly his wife was trying to rebut that as much as possible tonight, trying to, paint a more inclusive picture of her husband, trying to soften his tone a little bit. And while, I think that part of the speech was certainly well received, I don't know how much this is actually going to do in the long run to help Donald Trump, because so many of those views about him are so baked in. It's going to be tough to change people's opinions on him, whether you like him or you don't, before Election Day.
Adam Wollner, thank you for joining us this evening and sharing your perspective on Melania Trump coming out and giving her first speech, a major speech at tonight's RNC convention, day one. Thank you.
Thank you.